Welcome back to another electrifying episode of Level Up with Sean Meyers. I'm your host, Sean Meyers, and today we've got a real treat for you. We're diving deep into the world of social media, influence, entrepreneurship, and athletic excellence. We've got a fantastic guest in the studio with us today, and I can't wait to introduce her to you all. Our guest today is a true force to be reckoned with. She's taken TikTok by storm with a whopping 100,000 plus followers, inspiring and entertaining people across the globe. But that's not all. Isabelle Guevara is also a business owner and athlete who's clinched podium spots in several challenging competitions, including High Rocks and Camp Gladiator. She's the embodiment of success and determination. We're thrilled to have her here, and we're about to uncover her journey, her secrets to success, and the inspiration she brings to the world. So without further ado, let's jump into this thrilling conversation. Join me in welcoming our special guest, Isabelle Guevara, to the Level Up with Sean Meyers podcast. Welcome to the Level Up podcast, Isabelle Guevara. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, so my name is Isabelle. I am a 25-year-old. I live in the Houston area. I'm currently in school for PTA, so like physical therapy assisting. And then in the meantime, I do nutrition coaching. So I am a certified nutrition coach working one-on-one with my clients to help them reach their health and fitness goals. And then also within the past year, I've really gotten into social media. So I post a lot on TikTok, Instagram, which has been super awesome, opened a ton of new doors for me, allowed me to work with some amazing companies and brands and just enter a whole new world, which is awesome. But yeah, that's just a little brief intro about me.
You're very humble. So she's like, oh, I got into TikTok, social media. So, of course, to do a good podcast, I wanted to do a little research. So I'm looking at Isabelle's TikTok, and I kind of wanted to see where it started. And the first number had like 400 views, and then it got up to 700, and then I saw a few that had 3,000. I'm like, okay, it's getting good. This is building. And then all of a sudden, bang, 32,000 views on this one video. I'm like, whoa. And then I keep going up, 250,000 views, 500,000, 750,000, 1.9 million views. I'm like, this is not normal. Like, how do you even do that? So I saw that. So she's not just some random TikToker. She has different people asking her to get sponsored by them. So yeah, she's the real deal. And you didn't mention your athletic prowess as well. You're in competitions. Just if you just sum that up in a couple sentences.
Yeah. So I also am I would call myself a hybrid athlete. I used to do within the past couple months. I just transitioned over to PTA, but I was a certified personal trainer, group fitness trainer. And that really kind of got me into the world of fitness and competitions. I'd never really done any type of fitness competitions. And so that kind of led me into that. So I also compete in a couple of different, like I said, just hybrid competitions. But yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. So just to sum that up, she's 25. She has nutrition clients. She has a TikTok following that is unparalleled to the normal person, and she's competing at elite levels in sports competitions. So yeah, no big deal, right? to go into the TikTok side of things, so how did that start? Did you know it was going to be a big thing? Is you planned on this being something you wanted to pursue, or is it just kind of unfolded by just random accident?
So I, like anybody, in quarantine, TikTok became a super huge thing. Just downloaded the app and was just posting silly pranks or trends, just not really anything serious, just doing it for fun. And then I started to see a lot of fitness influencers posting full days of eating, their workout splits, just stuff like that. And I was like, I love this content. This is so fun to watch. At the time, like I said, I was doing personal training, so I could just relate to a lot of it. 4 a.m. wake up calls, just stuff like that I love to watch as a consumer. And so I was like, I'm going to start posting that just for fun. Like I really didn't have any idea that anything would come out of it. So I started posting for a couple of months. Like you said, like 300 views, nothing crazy, probably just my friends, family watching. And then I remember one video I started posting like meal prep videos and just, I had just gotten into my nutrition coaching. So I was posting a lot of nutrition type stuff. And I remember one video just kind of blowing up and not even in the millions, like just like a couple thousand, but I gained like 10,000 followers. And I was like, holy crap, like, what is this? Like, this is insane just from one video.
What were so most people, when they get started, they're very afraid to put themselves out there in social media because there's the judgment and is this any good? Like, what was some of the emotions when you first started? Because people that might not have any kind of following right now, but would love to, and they just don't think it's possible. And that's an emotional response. They don't believe it. What were your emotions when you were doing that? How did you handle those?
So when I started posting, I was a little reserved, like not posting as much about me, more like food content or like I'm training client content, but not really like day-to-day life of me because of that reason. Like it's just, are people going to see this that know me? Like this is, I don't know. That's kind of weird. And then finally I was like, you know what? Like who cares? Like I love fitness, food, all the things. And so
speak to that. What do you mean? Who cares? Because it's so easy to bypass that.
Right.
That is the key to success in any area, I think. So what was that to you? Who cares?
Well, I just knew I was doing something that I love, that I just genuinely enjoyed. So I'm like, I don't care if other people think it's weird that I'm posting silly little videos or anything like that. I think that people that know me in real life know that like I really do like live and breathe like fitness, health, nutrition. Like I just, not that I do it every day, but I like love talking about it. I love helping people. And so I was like, if my video can help like one person, like do a 4 a.m. wake up or have a healthy meal prep, just one person, I'm like, then that's enough. Like it's enough to post about it.
Do you remember the moment? Was it a gradual thing where just suddenly you realized, oh, who cares? I'm having a great time. Or was it one moment where you're like, you know what? I love this. Who cares? I'm going for it. Was it like one or the other?
I mean, it's weird because I still will get into times where I will think like, does anybody really care that I did a workout today? Does anybody really care what I ate today? Like this, just like, is this dumb? And then like within the past couple of months, even I was thinking this like 1 week, I just like went through a week of not posting on Instagram, on TikTok, because I was just like, does anybody really care what I'm doing? And then I posted like, this was like a Monday, I started having that feeling. So I just like didn't post. I was like, let me just not, like, maybe nobody cares and this is just silly for me to post. I don't know why. I just got in this mindset. And so I didn't post. And then maybe Saturday we did like a group workout or something. And so I posted the group workout and I had gotten a message from somebody and they were like, I look forward to your post every day. I've been like falling off and you really inspired me to get back on. And I was like, see, if it's one person, if all I impact is one person, like that's enough. And so,
Sean, can you speak to that? Because you've done a lot of social media, put yourself out there, and it really changed the game for you and your businesses, and it's emotion-wise similar.
Yeah, I can resonate 100% with that because I've had people message me, DM me, text me, and it just takes that one person to make the biggest impact. I'm like, that it brings it back to reality, and it's so surreal. And for me, it's like, that is why I continue to show up when I don't feel like it, but I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to make that post. I don't know. So I think over time too, you build this like strong backbone, right? You're still going to have your haters. You're still going to have your naysayers. You're still going to have your people. Yeah. It's a muscle that you're building, because that is when your why is the inspiration and aspiration. When you get people to take action in their own lives, and you are the guide, you're doing that, right? That's a sense of, for me, it's a sense of fulfillment. That's what makes me happy. So I'm like, how do I do more of that?
Right.
And our message is stare the dragon in your life down, stare the demon down that you don't want to look at because it's too scary to go on social media. It's too many haters. So I will not do it. I'm going to go distract myself. I won't do what I would like to do. So you're living small. But when you stare it down and just go for it and realize, I want something, you suddenly realize there is no dragon. There is no demon. It was all in my head.
That's right.
And what I thought was so scary is now a muscle that you've grown, and you have this confidence and strength. And that's something I think anyone can do. They just got to push past. You guys pushed past that tricky little part. But after that, it's all good. I mean, there's still those days, but it's still, you have control over that dragon. You can stare it down. Very cool.
Awesome. So your journey in building the TikTok business the brand has gotten you where you are today, right? You've put in the reps, you've put in the work behind the scenes. And how long, you said, so I think I heard you say it earlier, you started the TikTok in COVID?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember what year?
No. What year was COVID?
When I was looking, it was like you're posting 2020, like January-ish, maybe February.
Maybe.
Or I guess it was May. Sorry. So it was 2 months after COVID.
Yeah.
It was like, maybe, it was May. And it was like either one a month or one a week. But it was very, it's just slowly getting into it.
Yeah, just posting videos that probably nobody saw, but I just was like, we'll see what happens.
So do you ever go back and look at those videos when you first, and then?
I actually did that a month or two ago. I'm like, now that I have some people following me, maybe I should go back and see like what videos I posted, like when I was just doing it for fun, like pranks and just like dancing. I'm like, maybe I should go look at that. And so I went back and I deleted some of them because they were dumb videos of me just like.
Hear that, people? You can always delete the terrible ones.
Wait a minute. I didn't know that. I still got my original videos on there.
I still look at them when I need to laugh. I'm like, okay, this one helped me out, dude.
But yeah, I did go back and look and at the time I had a lot more free time to like film content. And so I was like, just looking at like the changes in my content, like the quality and stuff like that. But yeah,
that's what I was going to ask you. Let's stay on that. So what were some of the key elements you think that has allowed you to, over the last couple of years, to help you grow and make the impact that you've made? Because you have impacted and served, even though 1-2 people have reached out to you and said, hey, you're making a difference in my life. But the reality is there's hundreds and thousands of people behind the scenes that's not reaching out to you, that you're making an impact. You're doing that, right? So what do you feel like some of those key elements over the last couple of years have basically exponentially made you grow to where you are today?
So I would say just like, I mean, you guys know me in real life. I really think what I post is how I am in real life, like what I'm eating, 100%. Who I'm hanging out with, my workouts. Like I'm not faking it for the camera. I really do work out that much, and my morning routine, stuff like that. So I would just say staying true to who I am, even if it's like me not getting views. I'm like, oh, well, like, like this is who I am. This is how I'm
hard to do. Stay true to yourself.
Right. Yeah. And I agree, especially in the world of social media, when you have people reaching out to you, hey, I'll pay you X amount of money if you post this video. And it's like, okay, but I haven't posted about this at all. This doesn't, like, for me to post it is so like not authentic. And so just being able to be like, staying true to yourself, staying true to like what you do, I think has helped me, because as a consumer myself, like that's who I look for. You can tell when somebody's posting for money or when they're posting because they like it. And so, yeah, just.
Can you imagine you're just having a normal conversation with your mom or your dad or a friend, and all of a sudden you're like, and over here you can buy this for $9.99. You're like, what are you doing, man? It's just not real. You can feel it. It's not right. And you don't have to try when it's effortless when you're being true to yourself, because you're just being yourself. Right. And that's such good advice.
Yeah. And that is somebody who I'd want to follow, right? That is 100%. Somebody that's with conviction, that's authenticity, and that is a sense of peace, right? Because when you're living authentically who you are and you show up every single day for that, and then when you put that on social media and you put that out there for the public because you're a public figure, that is a beautiful thing. That is a leader in my eyes, right? And that is somebody that I want to follow, because I'm like, I want to do more of that, right? I want to, because there's so many people in our lives these days, people around me, and I see this in our community, and I see this, they're trying to be somebody that they're not.
Right.
That's right.
That pulls peace.
You're either chasing, if you're chasing, me and you've talked about this all the time, Sean. People are no different. If you chase a dog, it runs away. But if you start running the other direction, the dog will chase you. Right. And we're not saying people are like dogs, but we are very similar in a sense that when we're trying to sell something, people can feel the squeeze of, this person just wants something from me. And we don't like that. No one wants to be sold to. People want to buy stuff, but they don't want to be sold to. When you kind of, running away, but when you're having a great time and you're like, I'm doing this regardless, with or without you, people want to be a part of that good time. Right. You're not trying to convince them to come with you. So it really works. And, anyone listening to this, I dare you to try it. Just try not to make things happen and just be yourself, be authentic. But
what would be, since we're on that, what would be one piece of advice? This is going to be a challenge for you. One piece of advice that you would give somebody that's struggling with showing up their true, authentic self, their true conviction, right? Like, Isabelle, I hear what you're saying. I love what you're doing. You know, you're a public figure. You're living life on your own terms, like how you want to live it. And, you know, what would be that one piece of advice to somebody that's struggling to show up with that conviction, right?
Right. That is a hard question. So I would say this is what has kind of helped me, which is just do what makes you happy. A lot easier said than done. But at the end of the day, if you're not happy doing it, like you're not, I don't know. That's the advice that I would give, which again, it's a lot easier to say than do because there's a lot of obstacles to do what makes you happy or to be able to fit that in your schedule or whatever it is. But even just the little decisions you're making, like, okay, is hanging out with this person going to make me happy? Is it going to not even necessarily help you, but just is it going to help grow you or help move you in that direction that you want to move? So even the little decisions, I think, matter a ton.
So 1,000%. And I don't know if you want to talk about this, but I feel like this is appropriate. You made a decision, a big lifestyle change here recently, didn't you? Right? And that is aligned with your conviction, right? Your authentic self.
Right.
And you know what I'm talking about, right? I don't know if you want to say it, but my point is like the decision that you made was not aligned with who you wanted to be and who you wanted to become. And you were not happy, it wasn't enjoyable, right, anymore. So you made a shift. So I can contest to what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So on a practical side for TikTok, so that's kind of the mental game, and TikTok's, there's all different kinds of social media platforms. What advice would you give to someone that would like to do what you're doing? How could they get started? What's the steps they take, thought process, all that kind of stuff? Yeah, if someone was like, Isabelle, I want to do what you're doing in this category, like, getting raccoons off of someone's roof. That's what I love doing. How could they turn that into a...
Right. So I actually just had a friend a couple months ago reach out to me for the same thing. And she was kind of like, what advice would you give me to help start this? And I just gave her some like analytical advice about TikTok, the app itself, and like how to kind of boost it, but then just for her own personal as well. And what I told her is just stay consistent. Like, I get it. It is hard when you post like 100 videos and you get no views, like to be like, nobody cares. This isn't working for me. Like, it is hard to stay consistent, especially because it's a lot of work that goes into the videos, to like making them and setting them up and editing them. So I get it, but I would just stay consistent with posting. Because all it takes is one video to blow up, and that could change like the trajectory of your life, honestly.
I think it's the way you have to love it. Like you said, it goes right back to, because if you don't love it, and after 100 videos, no one is watching, and you're going through misery to keep this up. What a terrible time that is.
Yeah. If you're posting about something you don't like just to try and blow up, or like get followers, it's going to be miserable because it is a lot of work.
Do you mind sharing what was she trying to?
So she actually, Megan Dodd, shout out to her, go follow her. Her and her husband, I met her through training, and they started traveling full time for like their RV. So they sold their house here, sold everything, started traveling. And so she was just like, hey, do you have any tips? And I just told her posting multiple times a day, like using trending audios. You want your video to go to the For You page, obviously, if you want to get followers, but also at the same time, I post a lot of content that like, I don't want to go out to the For You page. I want to go, like, I want to connect with my audience. So just talking videos and stuff like that. And she's done awesome. Her content's great. I mean, I think she's like at 70,000 followers. So she blew up as well.
How long has she been doing it?
I don't know. I think we talked, sometime this year. So and so it worked, I guess. The advice worked. And her dedication. She does post a ton. She did exactly what I said, and she's awesome.
I downloaded the TikTok app yesterday so I could do some research on.
You're behind.
And now I'm thinking, what could I do? What do I love to do?
I was just telling Sean's wife, Kendra, I was telling her, you and Sean need to start posting. Like, your guys' content, like, I feel like we're one and the same. We post a lot of the same stuff. And I'm like, you're inspiring. Like, we inspire each other. Like, your content's awesome. It would be if you posted it. And so she started posting this week too. And I'm excited to see her journey.
Isabelle's TikTok handle will be in the show notes, and Sean, we need to do 15 videos by end of today. And so we can put your link in there too. So
she said 3. I heard her say 3. Multiple videos, not 15.
We're going to level up.
We're
leveling up to 15 just to get the initial
better
boost.
Start hiring some people.
Yeah. So on the fitness journey, shifting gears, tell us about that. We'd love to know, the level that you're at is elite, and that is very intimidating to a lot of people. A lot of people look at that and think, I could never do that. That's just not me. I can't even run a mile right now, or I've never lifted weights. Were you always elite? Were you just born and ready to roll, or
No.
Tell us about that?
So I have always been athletic. Like, in high school, I played a lot of sports, but I was never the worst on the team, but I was never the best on the team. Like, I was never great at any of the sports. But I was athletic, I guess. And so really, until I started doing this style of training, it didn't like click. So I was athletic, like I said, went to college, ended up gaining freshman 15. And I worked out with a roommate, but all we really knew were like the workouts that we did in high school, like our volleyball workouts. I really didn't know my way around a weight room. I had never lifted. Even running was not like, we did sprints and stuff, but we never like ran long distance. And so I think I ended up buying like a program from a girl, like a fitness influencer online, that showed videos of how to do stuff. And I just followed her plan, started losing weight. And I was like, oh, this is actually fun. Like, I enjoy this style of training, because all I had known was like conditioning and volleyball. And I was like, that's not fun to me. I didn't love that. But once I started like all these other styles of training, I was like, oh, like this is fun. I genuinely enjoy it.
When was this?
This was 2016, 17. And then, so a couple years ago. And then I ended up seeing a group fitness class across the street from my apartment. And I was like, wait, that looks fun. And so I figured out what it was. I actually started working for them as a as a group fitness trainer, and I started going to those classes, and I loved it. I love the community. I love just showing up, not having to think about it. And that is really what led me into my fitness journey. Once I was done with college, moved here, started working as a group fitness trainer. And then, it was Camp Gladiator that actually introduced me to fitness competitions. I had never done fitness competitions, a 5K or anything. And so we did a lot of 5K races with them. They have something called CG Games I'm actually competing in this weekend with Sean. It's going to be exciting. And so I was like, whoa, I never knew this world of like fitness competitions was a thing. And so I started, and then it like kind of clicked. Like, I was never great at volleyball or basketball, but like I felt like I was athletic, I guess. And so like once the two clicked, it was like, I don't know, I just like loved it and started working. And I started my first couple competitions. I was podiuming. Is that a word? I was like on podium, and I was like, holy crap, like not only do I enjoy this, like I'm kind of okay at it. I'm kind of good at it.
You can say it's okay to say it. If it's true, you can say it. It's not bragging.
I was like, it just, helped me start chasing the goal of, okay, I don't want to be third place. I want to be first on that podium. So I just started working towards it, which has helped me become quote unquote an elite athlete. Yeah. So yeah, it's been fun. It's really just within the past year that I've started like these elite races and like leveling up my fitness completely, but I've enjoyed every second of it.
So you started really nowhere. If you think about it, like it must, where most people are right now, the same people are saying, I can't do it. You just said, I'm going to do it. And it led to you getting a little fitter. Then, if I picked that up right, that transition into coach, what was that?
So, once I started the group fitness training, once I started the classes, I was like at 20, just fit for a 20-year-old, could run all day, just whatever. And they approached me. They're like, dude, you have to be a trainer. And at the time I was in college, I'm like, I have too much on my plate. Like, it's technically like starting your own business. I was like, I can't do that right now. Like, it's just not like in the cards for me. Once I moved to the Conroe area, I started working at a dental office and started going back to those same group fitness classes. And a trainer approached me and was like, have you ever thought about doing this? Like, you really like it. You're really good at it. Have you ever thought about it? I was like, you know what? I actually have. And then that changed it. I started doing group fitness classes. Like I would wake up at 5 a.m., go teach a class, and then go work a 9 to 5, and then go teach a 6 p.m. class. And so that was my schedule for a while. And then COVID ended up hitting and our office shut down, the dental office I was working at. And that led into like a great transition of me just being like, you know what? Let me try fitness full time. If it doesn't work, I can always go back to the dental world, but, I'm just going to try it out. Like, what's the worst that could happen? I fail and then, oh, well, it is what it is. So I tried it out and I've been doing it ever since.
It's interesting. I've been in fitness since I remember I was doing like these things called chest expanders when I was 10. I'd watch the Rocky movies and like I'd start doing pull-ups. I'd get a baseball bat and put it as a chin-up bar across 2 doors, and I'd do pull-ups. And so I've always been into fitness and looking after myself, played rugby in Scotland growing up, and I did CrossFit for a really long time. I've never associated this with until recently that people who work out and the stronger, fitter, healthier they get, the more things are happening in their life in general. I'm connecting now all that you've done with TikTok. It's not normal you're able to do that. You've pushed through. There was a confidence there somewhere. And I believe this more than ever now is coming from a fit mind, right? Like when your body's fit, your mind is fit. And if your body's not fit, your brain, it's just very difficult for the brain to be healthy. Right. And if anyone can just get a little bit of momentum going in their fitness world, I guarantee they're going to see things in their business world, their relationship world. Because I know, Sean, you have just elevated yourself on the elite level as well with athletics, winning the ultra Spartan 50K. I mean, you won that thing. And at the same time, your businesses are just booming. You're starting new ones. And same with you, Isabelle, just the connection. Yeah. I've been really up in my game. So I've always been in fitness, been up in my game, probably in the fittest shape of my life. I'm 42 and I'm in the same boat. Everything I'm touching, everything I'm doing is just clearer. And I'm having much more success doing these things. So just the connection there for anyone listening, man, if you're struggling in your relationship life or your business life, man, start digging into your fitness just a little bit. You don't have to go try and be an elite athlete today, but just, man, go for a mile walk or a 400-meter walk or something, just something to get going. But
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the Apple Watch. They have the 10,000 steps, you know, they start there is like, I remember when I first started like my walking and then jogging and then my running journey is like, once I hit that 10,000 steps on my Apple Watch, it explodes this like fire on my watch. I'm like, let's go.
Congratulations.
Sometimes little things like that, just we're human beings. We want to see progress. And when you're on the podium and some of the things that you've done, you hit your 100,000 plus subscriber and all these things, all these achievements, all these milestones that you've hit in your life, it's created as like, oh, what I'm doing, the reps that I'm putting in behind the scenes is actually working, right? I'm making an impact in somebody's life. I'm getting these subscribers. I'm serving people, and it's a beautiful thing. And I think to answer to dovetail off what you're saying, Ewan, is it's once you start those baby steps, right? And then crawling and then standing up, walking, and then walking to jog, and then jog to run. It's like you create this momentum. And then you stay, it's that snowball effect, right? And you keep that going. And then you're like, well, I'm doing this in health and wellness and fitness. Why can't I do this in other areas of my life?
It builds confidence.
It builds confidence, right?
Can do here,
it's the same principle.
I can do there. It's
100%.
the weirdest feeling. If you don't know that feeling, it means you haven't really started to do it yet. But if you start doing, it builds in other areas where you are one area of life, you are the other area. It's just the way it is.
And I would say, like, the first thing that pops in my mind is like, okay, well, hey, Sean, you and Isabelle, like, it's super overwhelming. I hear what you're saying, everything that you guys are talking about, but where do I start, right? And we've kind of mentioned that, right? Baby steps. Where is it in that area of life where you can take that one little step and then build on that, right?
Stare that demon down, that dragon. It's not there. Just do it. Stare it down and make it happen, man.
Yeah. It's like when you set out for the TikTok, right? I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, you're like, I want 100,000 followers, right? It's like, I'm just going to start posting videos.
I hit like 1,000. I was like, holy cow, this is crazy.
Milestone.
Right.
Wanting the 100,000 is a chasing motion, and people will run because you want that 100 so bad so that you can have and be whatever. But that's a you thing, as opposed to, I'm doing this for me. I'm having a great time. People will then chase you. It's one or the other. There is one in the middle I'm working on. It's contentment, where you're not running or chasing, and that gets even more people to come your way, funnily enough. But it's more on the side of doing your own thing and people will follow you. But
I've got a quick question for you, Isabelle. How, and then we'll wrap this up, but how important would you say health is for you? Like, where would you say is a priority in your life right now?
It's like at the very top. So just on what y'all were saying, like when I complete a workout, I'm like, and right now my workouts are pretty intense because I am training, but they're not like this year round. But when I complete like a hard workout, I'm like, I just did that. Like, I just did. It does. It gives you a confidence of like, I can do that. I can do this. I do my workouts in the morning. So it just starts my day on such a good note. Like, I'm like, I've already worked out. I've like done a hard workout at that. Like, I don't know. It is definitely up there right now. Although I assume it will always be up there for me. Again, right now it is a little bit more intense than normal with my workouts and stuff, but it gives me like clarity of mind, sets the tone for the day. Like it's definitely at the top for me right now. And I'm just at the stage in my life right now where it can be. I get like, maybe you're a new mom and it can't be at the top. Like, understandable baby steps. It doesn't have to be, not everybody's on the same journey. Right now, I am, mid-20s, no kids. I'm able for me to put all my like time and effort into it. So yeah.
And we'd mentioned a little bit earlier, all this that you've done has led to even more good things. So a lot of people reach out to Isabelle on TikTok, trying to get her to sell products for them because there's a lot of eyeballs on her. But there's one in particular me and Sean were very excited about. It's Nick Bear. He's a hybrid athlete. He's, a million subscribers on YouTube. We watch his videos, very inspirational to us. And we really kind of followed his program for a while there. And, his company is called BPN, does a bunch of supplements, and they have reached out to you to sponsor you. And you tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I get, a good amount of messages daily for people reaching out. A lot of them are irrelevant. It's like this clothing line or this jewelry or furniture that just like doesn't align with me at all. And it's probably just, maybe they're robots. Who knows if it's even legit? But so and if you follow my TikTok, I actually have never done a sponsored post just because I don't know. I don't want to post anything that I don't love, and it's not the money for me. So, which has been awesome. That was like one of the best decisions, that it's not my full like time job, because I'm able to be like, no, I don't want to post that. I don't, so I have a lot of people kind of reach out to me, and they actually reach out to me in September, and I missed their email. And if you follow, you've seen that I use their products a lot. I use their pre-workout. I'll do their protein, stuff like that. So they reached out to me. I missed their email, and then they had reached out again last week and were like, hey, just checking back. I know you're probably busy, but like, we would really, like, we love your message.
They're chasing
we love
you.
your brand.
Yeah. So you love responding back.
I know. And they were like, we would love to send you some stuff. And there's a lot of different ways that like sponsored posts work. Like people can be like, hey, we want you as an athlete. Hey, we want to pay you for this. They were just like, hey, we would love to send you product. Like if you like it, post about it. If you don't like it, you don't. And I love that. That's like my favorite type of partnership, because I don't want to be pressured into doing something. I don't want to post something if I don't like it. And my message and their message really align. So that just works out perfectly. And I've already like organically been using their products before even knowing that they wanted to send them to me. Which is another tip, by the way, that I would give people, like just stuff like that. If it was a random protein that I never used in my life and I just posted one day, hey, try this. And people would be like, what? Like you post your eating all day. And like, I've never seen that. So that it like goes hand in hand.
It would look fake, kind of like you said, it wouldn't be congruent. So, it's awesome. Cause again, it's just something I naturally already use, and they are just gifting me a product, and I'll just post for them. It's one of their like, seasonal proteins and stuff like that. So super exciting, because I love him. I love his message and everything he stands for. So I'm happy to post about stuff like that.
Well, I gotta admit, for the record, I'm a little jealous that you got that BPN reached out to you.
Major
Nick,
respect.
if you ever reach to this, man, reach out to your boy.
I texted his wife and I was like, Sean's gonna be jealous.
Yeah.
Guess who I just got a message from?
I love that. So you've done all these things as well, and you're 25, and you've got so many amazing things happening. And we've discovered by talking to you, you weren't just born to do it. Like you've put the reps in, you've just put one foot in front of the other, and all these beautiful things have happened. You put yourself in a position for good things to happen. It wasn't just a gift from God, which is great for everyone to hear, because there are certain people who are like, that's just a natural talent. And I don't really, that's great for them, but I love to see people, cause I'm the same way. I know if I can see someone else do it, that means, man, there's a shot I can do it too if I do the right thing. So, going into the future, what does the future look like for you? I'm sure you haven't thought like, when you're 60 or anything, but the next 5 years, 10-ish years, what do you see with all this stuff going on?
So like I said, just within the past year, it's like right at the year mark where I just started like competing in these fitness levels. So I would love to see within the next 5 years, hopefully I'm competing in like higher level and I'm just continuing to grow, especially because I don't know, right now, like I said, I have the time to devote to that. So that on the fitness side of things is where I look. I plan, on the professional side of things, I hope to just keep growing my TikTok. Love it. Hope to help impact people every single day. And then also like I'm getting my PTA license. So I'm also being able to, impact and help people recover from things like injuries and just help them in that aspect.
That's future TikTok content right there. You help me with my runner's knee right now.
Yes. We just had a session before this. So yeah, hopefully, professionally, I'm helping people in health and fitness. Online is the same. I plan to continue nutrition coaching as well because I really am super passionate about nutrition, and I hope that I can continue doing that as well. So yeah. So
cool.
Yeah. So last question for you. What advice would you give somebody that's listening to this, like a young athlete, gal or guy out there that could help them believe in themselves to level up and start their journey in fitness?
So I would say we kind of mentioned this already, but just baby steps. Like you don't have to come out of the gates hot. And I think the number one reason that people fail when they try to get into fitness or anything in life is they're like, well, I'm going to start waking up at 4 a.m. I'm going to drink a gallon of water. I'm going to eat healthy all on one day. And like, that's just unrealistic. Like baby steps, start with just drinking water. And then once you've mastered that task, then try to implement like working out daily. So just slowly implementing it, just in any aspect of life, even with like posting on TikTok, social media, just start out slow. Definitely stay true to what you believe in, make it fun. Again, just in any aspect of life. But yeah, I would say,
what about accountability partner? You haven't mentioned that one. Come on, who's your accountability partner?
So I've posted about this. I am huge on accountability. So I started my fitness journey by doing a group fitness class because that is what held me accountable. You see the same faces every day. If you're struggling with fitness, I would definitely recommend getting into group fitness. I taught group fitness as well. And actually met Sean I was training him in group fitness. So it's a great stepping stone. You don't have to worry about what you're doing.
What would you say to someone that's really afraid to go? There's a group, it's very intimidating, someone that might just have no fitness level and is just too scared, too embarrassed. There's a big dragon there. They don't want to stare down. What would you say to them? How would you get them there?
So when I first started going to the group fitness class, like I said, I really didn't know much about like weightlifting or just anything like that. Bring a friend, number one, like it helps to have somebody that is there. But two, in my experience from attending and also training, is everyone's there to work on themselves. Everybody is focused on themselves. It may look like, or you may think people are looking or just something like that, but truly, I think 99% of the time, people are worried about themselves. They're there for the same reason as you. They're there because they need the accountability. They're there because they want to build friendships in the fitness world. So I would say, just try a class. And hey, maybe it's like a yoga class and you don't like it. Hey, try a different class. Like there's so many different things and one size doesn't fit all when it comes to fitness. What's the worst that could happen? You hate it and you never go back. But there's no harm in trying.
Man, 25, you're speaking words of wisdom. Honestly, I'm 42 and I'm listening to your story. I got 2 kids, wife, I have my career and business, and I'm super inspired. And what's most inspiring is just, I know it to be true. I know the words logically, I know, but just hearing actually taking those baby steps, I resonate with that. And there's so much more that I could do, not because I have to or feel insufficient. I'm very content. I'm super content in my life. I want to do more because it's available and enjoy it. And just hearing you say that, man, there's so much more potential to just explode life even more. And I'm super inspired. I'm super grateful you came on the show. And
Likewise, very grateful. You're an inspiration.
Thank
You're a
you.
rock star. You are a leader. And I've always said this behind the scenes, but I'm saying it for the record and for our listeners and audience. We want to support you. How can we support you? How can our listeners and audience and friends and family and community and everybody listening to this globally, how can they support you?
Yeah. So, if you want to follow along with my journey on both TikTok and Instagram, my username is Isabelle_Jade, Jayde.
We can put those in the links, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. They're going to be in the links for sure.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah. So if you just want to follow along with the journey, I would love to have you on my page. Yeah, that's the best way. I just come follow along the journey.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on, Isabelle. It's been a
It was fun.
great time listening to you. I've learned a ton and very excited.
Love it. Thanks.
That's a wrap for today's episode. What an incredible conversation with Isabelle, our TikTok sensation, business owner, and podium-winning athlete. We hope you've been inspired, as we have, by her incredible journey. Remember, the journey to success is often filled with challenges and obstacles. But Isabelle's story reminds us that with passion, determination, and a dash of creativity, we can all level up our lives. If you've enjoyed this episode, please make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update from us. Before we go, a big thank you to our guest, Isabelle Guevara, for sharing her wisdom and insights. We look forward to seeing her continued success and can't wait to have her back on the show in the near future. As always, if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions for future episodes, don't hesitate to reach out to us on social media or through our website. We love hearing from our audience and listeners. But for now, it's time to say goodbye. Thank you for tuning in to the Level Up with Sean Meyers podcast. Until next time, keep chasing your dreams, leveling up, and living your life.